Yeah, I think when you talk about matchups, and sometimes you look at basketball and you parallel it, and the one team's best player on the team is so important to know who's matching up with him defensively, who is trying to contain and stop him. Travis Kelce, the best player on the Kansas City Chiefs, not named Patrick Mahomes, his go-to guy, the person he's always trying to get the ball to, especially in crunch time and definitely in the playoffs. This is who he's looking for when he's outside the pocket, when he's scrambling, when zones break down. Who's he going up against? C.J. Gardner Johnson. This guy for the Philadelphia Eagles, their safety. He comes down in the box. He'll play some man-to-man. And I know the Eagles linebackers, T.J. Edwards and Kazir White, they'll get their opportunities in zone and different things of that nature. But when it comes down to third downs, red zone, 2-minute drill, when a game is won or lost, a lot of it will be Travis Kelce matched up on C.J. Gardner Johnson. And this is one that you love to see because these are two high-energy guys that motivate the guys around them, that push their teammates in those crucial moments, and they're going to be locked up. And, Sean, you talked about it earlier in the show. Gardner Johnson has an innate ability to get under people's skin. Matched up against Kelce, this is going to be a fun one to watch. Maybe some pushing and shoving after the whistle, some face mask to face mask, some words exchanged. I'm excited to watch a good defender versus a receiver to see who can win those one-on-one matchups when Mahomes is outside the pocket looking for his favorite target.
Yeah, every great instigator always knows something. They know, like, the name of your high school girlfriend or, like, your third-grade teacher that gave you an F, and, like, so they'll just find a way to just try to get you out of your head.
Indeed.
I love these big games because we have all these ISO cameras, right? So, like, you know, the producers, the directors, they're like, all right, hey, we're going to focus on certain guys. They're going to have one on Travis Kelce. I wish I could pay a little extra money to have an isolated camera on the right tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. Give me Andrew Wiley. I just want to watch that angle and that matchup right now against Hassan Reddick. Look, this guy should have been, you know, definitely in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year with the type of season he had. But I'm watching this matchup all game long, not just third down. I mean, look, Hassan Reddick has been unbelievable with not just his speed rush, but his ability to change direction, something Andrew Wiley has really struggled with lately with those speedy pass rushers that can bounce inside. That change of direction has been something he struggled with. So, look, on third down, who knows what the crowd noise is going to be like. They could have to go a little sound count. That plays into the advantage of the defensive lineman because now they're going to get a jump on that. Hassan Reddick's first step right now, there's nobody faster in the league right now. That's going to be a great matchup. And, look, there's a lot of people that think Hassan Reddick could end up being the Super Bowl MVP, not just for the sacks, but he also led the league in forced fumbles. So he doesn't just get to the quarterback, gets the ball out. Brock Purdy knows all about that.
Yeah, wreck shop capability. The skill set, the skill level across every position in this game is, like, really remarkable, and it's really been fun getting to know all the nooks and crannies of these two teams. But to me, it's the two guys who wear the headsets on the sideline that will be going game plan versus game plan when you look at Andy Reid versus Nick Sirianni. This is not a mentor-mentee situation. This is not Mike McDaniel against Kyle Shanahan. These guys did not have 15 fruitful years together where one learned from the other. It's not that at all. They have had overlap in their career, and there are very interesting ties between the two. But this is a true match of wit and wisdom and football IQ. These two teams are remarkably skilled, and these head coaches in very different places in their careers have an opportunity to make a mark in a very different way when one wins or the other one wins, and versus when one loses, the other one loses. So what Andy Reid and Nick Sirianni do against each other, game plan to game plan on Sunday afternoon, is something that I am just so fascinated in because they're such different individuals, different head coaches, and again, on different points of their career. So the impact on this game in particular as it pertains to the tenure of their longevity in the NFL and what their names mean for their career, I find it very fascinating. Peter Schrager, Sean OHara was wondering if you could get an extra ISO angle for the Fox Super Bowl. I feel like you should know somebody that could maybe pull that one off for him.
I can talk to the director, Rich Russo. We can make this happen. We can get every matchup. We can get the Sean OHara camera. We can watch Sean OHara wherever he's watching the game in studio there in New York on Sunday and pipe it in.
Right
That's
here.
how much technology there is in the Super Bowl. The matchups for me, though, Kyle, I know it's not quarterback wins and it's not quarterback versus quarterback. I'm fascinated to see Mahomes and Hurts. You talk about a matchup, you want to hear about who's on offense covering defense. But to me, it's like, who wins this game is going to have the offseason of all offseasons. Mahomes will now be coming off his second Super Bowl championship, his second MVP. He will be the king, of course. But what if Hurts wins this thing? We're talking about Jalen Hurts being in all those insurance ads. We're talking about Jalen Hurts having all the marketing deals. We're talking about Jalen Hurts being the reigning king of not only the NFC, but the Super Bowl champion quarterback. I think both of these young men have done so much this season, and both these young men represent so much for the NFL. Who comes out on top? Who is the face of this next upcoming NFL season? You better believe it. Jalen Hurts has converted everyone into believers this season. He wins a Super Bowl. He is an international superstar. Patrick Mahomes wins another one, Kyle. He might as well kick back, have that Joe Burrow cigar, and just say, it's my world, baby. Who's your matchup,
That insurance money?
That insurance money's real.
Peyton Manning and Kelly Clarkson were doing a bit last night at Honors about Peyton's like, Kelly, do you have insurance? Like, I can set you up. And Peyton's not joking. Like, he's probably got some nice things because of insurance. I wonder about Jalen Hurts. What we always say, cash these things in. You get to the Super Bowl, win it, because is Jalen Hurts, he loses this, is he ever going to get back to a Super Bowl? Do we know? I think people just kind of assume, oh, well, Brady got to a ton, or Roethlisberger and Eli. Like, there's no guarantee you're ever coming back. Cash this thing while you can. I think the biggest difficulty for Jalen Hurts in winning this thing is going to be Chris Jones.
Yeah.
I don't think the Chiefs can win this game if Chris Jones does not have a big game. And my matchup is Chris Jones versus the entire Eagles offensive line. Maybe it's Jordan Mailata. Maybe it's Lane Johnson. Maybe it's the guards and Kelsey. He is being called by Frank Clark the most unstoppable man in football, and he's hot right now. He's on one. But I saw one of these over-unders, Peter. Chris Jones sacks 0.5.
Yeah, he had 2 in the AFC Championship game.
So he'd blow it away. I don't think they can win this game if he doesn't have a big game. If that is under, whatever it may be, I'm not telling you to get down on it. I just saw it as an interesting observation. I don't think they can do it. I think the Eagles' offense is too good and too strong. And if we're like, yeah, Chris Jones didn't make many plays, but the Chiefs still won, I don't think it's there. I think they can win without a massive game from Kelsey. I do. I think Chris Jones is that important for what they have to do in the way the Eagles play football. That matchup versus the big Aussie Mailata and Lane et al., that's my matchup.
It's a really cool story. And Chris Jones' story specifically is really cool. He's a guy who was a stud, was a good player, emerges as a Defensive Player of the Year finalist, and he's one of the holdovers from the old team. The other guy, and I mentioned it yesterday with James Palmer on the show, Frank Clark is 3 sacks away.
This is crazy. Go ahead.
From breaking the NFL postseason record in quarterback sacks. Frank Clark. Now, is he going to get them all on Sunday?
Maybe.
Maybe. We don't know. Frank Clark is a postseason beast. They call him Mr. February, just like Reggie Jackson used to be Mr. October.
And A-Rod was Mr. April.
Yeah, and Dave Winfield was Mr. November.